Thank you for joining me and welcome to episode 3 of Pre-War Dreams. My name is Joe and thank you for tuning in. While many in the hobby were basking from the post-national and reflecting on pickups and enjoying additions to our collection, as we're now a couple, 2.5 months past that, we now try to set our sights on our collecting goals in the future. In episode 1, I touched on why I made the 5 pickups that I did at the National: the Mickey Cochran, the Rogers Hornsby, the Walter Johnson, the Pepper Martin, and the Daffy Dean. But today I want to focus on and guide you through a roadmap on where I am taking my collection. While pre-war is my main focus, I have other side projects that I allocate my budget to grow my collection. The post-national premiere show that I did focused on 3 of those areas. First, I am collecting the 1926 and 1934 St. Louis Cardinals, known as the Gas House Gang. Many people would ask why I'm collecting and focusing on them. For me, it's simple. I want a representation of this era of baseball history in my collection. And the Gas House Gang are an affordable alternative of Hall of Fame players that are not part of the Murderers Row Yankees. I can add to my collection great players at a fraction of the costs that fit my budget. As you all know, as I collect, I am, for the most part, a minimalist. So the St. Louis Cardinals, after doing a lot of research, knowing baseball history, that was something I gravitated towards right away as a pre-war era that I would like to have in my collection and a representation of in my collection because of the greats of that time. Second, as I alluded to as well, I have a catcher collection. As you saw in my first video, the 34 gold medal flower Mickey Cochran was a huge addition to that. There are actually 7 catchers in total that I am collecting, and I will show another catcher that I'm collecting, who is Johnny Bench. So I've been able to acquire 4 different Johnny Bench cards, starting with his 1968 rookie. I was also able to acquire during this time his 1969 All-Star card. I was also able to get his 1970 All-Star card. And lastly, another card that I was able to get of Johnny Bench over the last probably about 5 to 6 months was actually his 1970 Kellogg's card. These are all 4 great cards that I think are good representations of Johnny Bench. I am after a couple of others. This is the 70 Kellogg's card. I am after 2 other cards of Johnny Bench. I'm going to go after his 1969 Topps as well as his 1970 Topps. Another catcher that's in my catcher run is Thurman Munson. I'm collecting Thurman Munson because I think that he is a Hall of Fame worthy catcher, but also he was my mom's favorite player. So I was able to acquire this about a month or 2 ago. This is his 1971. Let me get that for you. Topps. This is going to be, it is in a PSA 6. They have an MC marking on it, but it was something that was clean. The edges are clean. The coloring is very clean. As you can see, there's no fuzz on it, which is our snow, which is very tough for a 71. So I was able to acquire that as well. The last 2 parts of my collection that I'm focusing on are very much more long-term in nature. Part 3 of my collection is what I call my Dream 9. It's 9 players that I want as a representation of in my collection. I do have 2 of the 9 players already. As you saw in my post-national, Walter Johnson, which I showed, like I said earlier, is part of my Dream 9. And the other pickup I was able to make earlier this summer is this 1947 Bond bred Ted Williams. There is a little bit of corner wear, as you can see here in this upper right hand corner. But I was able to acquire this again at a very good price, and very happy with that. I would like to maybe get 1 or 2 more Ted Williams over the course of the next couple of years. But I thought this was a really good representation of the Williams. I'm just going to give a little close-up here. These are extremely thin cards. So I did put it in a one-touch for right now until I decide if I'm going to grade it or not. Part 4, I guess, in the final part of my collection is the most long-term goal of my journey. I hope to try to acquire 1 card of as many pre-war sets as I can. I've decided to tackle this by focusing on 5 Major League Baseball teams: the Detroit Tigers, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Chicago Cubs, and the Cincinnati Reds. If I focus on those 5 teams, I'm hoping that this will allow me to check off these sets and simultaneously pick up players from the other 3 areas that I mentioned before that I currently focus on. I hope that you stay tuned to future episodes. I have other smaller projects that I am involved with, as well as to give a well-rounded selection of sports cards to my collection. And I look forward to sharing some more of my collection in future episodes. Again, I'm going to leave you with this quote: "Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. And that is why it's called the present." Thank you.